Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Corner. Today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and look at some recent price movement in action, and point out something that just kind of confirms what we've been kind of discussing for the past couple of episodes. So currently we are looking at the daily Bitcoin chart, and today is Saturday, January 26, 2019, and we still have not really moved much out of this $3,500 price range. We're still kind of consolidating in this range here, but something that kind of noticed today, I don't use this indicator very often, but something that popped up, I want to it just kind of confirms that something significant is about to happen. So you can see here we're still in this massive downtrend that we've been forming since basically December of last year, and we are continually forming this bear pennant, this shape here that we've kind of been discussing. So along with price action that is occurring, we're continually making lower highs and higher lows, which is forming this bear pennant formation right here. Typically what you'll see is when you get to close to the edge of where this pennant area is, you'll see an explosion either up or down. My feeling is I think we're going to be going down, but I could always be wrong. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, please make your own decisions. But what's pretty interesting is that if you zoom in on, let's say, the 4-hour, which I don't use the 4-hour very often, but it helps confirm what you're seeing as far as the larger time frame. This squeeze indicator, this indicator right here, it shows momentum in the market. Okay, so confirming what you're seeing here in price action, it shows obviously the green is bullish momentum and the red is bearish momentum. So what you're seeing here is in the past, since basically November, when we had a pretty significant drop from around the 6K range, we are continually squeezing, getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Does that make sense? So basically it's mimicking what you're seeing in price action. So what that also confirms to me, in a good analogy someone once told me, is when you see a pattern like this along with price action like this, imagine it's like a spring that you are compressing tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So eventually when it gets to a certain point, it's got to pop one way or the other. Okay, so that's what you see when you see a pattern like this. It's something is about to happen. You can see how it's perfectly laid out here. This perfect downtrend angle, uptrend angle. It's coming to a head here soon, guys. Something is going to happen here very, very soon. Don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to happen soon. Now, what I see when I see this along with something like this, I tend to look at the larger time frame and start looking at what I'm seeing, like in the stochastic RSI, which you can see in the daily stochastic RSI. Of course, again, we're looking at Bitcoin. We're starting to see a little bit of a turn on the blue line over the orange line, which we did have a stochastics cross on the weekly time frame that we discussed in the last episode, which that's pretty significant. So anytime that you see the stochastics cross, really pay attention to that, because that is, a lot of people say that the stochastics is kind of a good indicator of what's about to happen. Okay, so if we were seeing a tight squeeze that we were talking about on the 4-hour, if we were seeing a really great formation like this, but we were seeing a bullish cross in the stochastic, let's say like right here, and everything lined up, then I would maybe say, okay, I think we're going to go up. Since we're seeing a bearish cross on the stochastics, I believe we're probably going to go down. So that's one thing to. There's no one that can tell you exactly what's going to happen in the market. So what you try to do is try to analyze all of these different indicators and current trend, and try to base a decision based off of that. So that's my take on what's going to happen. Of course, I could always be wrong, but we will see. Hopping over to Litecoin. Litecoin is pretty much doing the same thing, but one thing that's interesting with the Litecoin chart, of course, we're still fighting this massive downtrend since we formed back in December of last year. But if you zoom in closer on the daily, much the same thing. We have a little bit of a squeeze going on with Litecoin, but if you look at, let's say, the 4-hour, let's go back to the daily. So the daily time frame, this is my favorite time frame, is the daily. What's interesting, what's coming into play now is we can see this is our downtrend angle that we've been fighting this whole ride down since December. We came up and we hit exactly on it. Okay, we hit it and we came down and we're getting right up to it. But something else that's now coming into play is this 50-day EMA line. So this line is significant resistance or support, and we're now right at it. So you can see that right now on the daily, the 50 EMA line is at let's see here, we're at 32,905, and you can see this right here when you hover over that point of the chart. So 32,903, and we are currently at $32.86. So we're right at that 50 EMA line, and so that we are fighting right here. This is a battleground right here, and if we happen to break through here, this will be another massive battleground. And I just don't see enough momentum and volume coming in to be able to pass through a lot of this. We may pop through. If we can pop through, get on top of this downtrend and start using this downtrend as support, then maybe that's something to consider, but I just don't see it right now. So anyway, that's my take of what's going on with Bitcoin, Litecoin. If you guys like the content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can get the content as soon as it comes out. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.